Hello, everyone. Welcome to the workshop to migrate your gateways to V2 to V3. And hey, Jose, how are you?
Great. How are you, Mark?
I'm good. Ready to show to the community how to migrate the gateways. I have one
Yes.
on my table. What do you
I
have
have
on your table?
I have four, four different gateways.
Different
I will.
concentrators as well?
Yeah, I mean, I have gateways based on Raspberry Pi 3, Raspberry Pi 4, on Semtex 1301 and 1302. Three of them are sporting rack concentrators, which is great, and one nice little development gateway by a Chinese company too.
Awesome.
Has a Raspberry Pi 3 inside.
Let me share you my screen so we can explain to everyone what we are going to do today in a really quickly way.
Cool.
All right, so today we are gonna show you how to build in a really easy way, just few clicks, a LoRaWAN gateway with basic stations. We're gonna use Balena IO that runs the Balena OS operating system that enables you to, in a really easy way, manage the software running on your gateway, okay? After that, we are gonna show you how to move this LoRaWAN gateway from V2, that it's automatically built to V2 at the moment, to V3, and then move it back to V2 to be ready for the migration day. And finally, as we're going to have a fleet, Jose and me, we're going to show you how to migrate the whole fleet, your complete fleet of LoRaWAN gateways from V2 to V3 in just one click.
Just a quick reminder that, as you might have already heard, community gateways are meant to be on V2 until the migration day to V3. This is because we don't want to leave behind anyone using V2 applications just yet. Of course, they will have to be moving the applications to V3, and during these conferences, I'm sure there are other talks about this. But we will do this testing, one gateway to V3 and back, to be sure that we can do it in a quick and sure way, and then do the migration the D-Day, on the D-Day. Yeah,
absolutely. We are not going to focus on nodes on this presentation. I think next session it's about how to migrate nodes. But yeah, to test that V2 and V3 works, yeah, we have some LoRaWAN nodes. I have a WIS blocks here. Cool.
Yes, another WIS block with several improvements already.
Nice. So yeah, so we are not going to focus. There are other sessions talking about that. So we are going to focus on that, on the migration of the gateways from V2 to V3, and be sure that you are ready for the, I don't know, I call it migration day. I don't know how it's final day, or how do you call it, Jose?
I know, final day. The final day sounds a little bit
final countdown,
apocalyptic.
Okay, let me show you my
the migration day. Yeah.
Let me share you my screen, so I will show you how to build a LoRaWAN gateway in a click. Okay, so let's go to Balena Hub. Balena Hub, it's a place where you can submit your IoT edge applications, and enable the community to run them. These are only open source applications. So if we go to projects, we have the TTS, the Things That Stack LoRaWAN Gateway. So we are gonna click here and fork this fleet. So what I'm gonna do is to deploy this, this project that is on GitHub, Balena Labs Basic Station. I'm gonna push this code into Balena Cloud application. So I'm gonna be able to manage all my fleet of LoRaWAN gateways from Balena Cloud. So let me show you how this works. So I click fork this fleet. And I'm going to select, in this case, that it's a Raspberry Pi 3 device type. I'm using a Raspberry Pi 4 here on my side, but Jose, what are you using?
So I have three of the gateways I have are based on Raspberry Pi 3, and the other one is a Raspberry Pi 4. So yeah, we need Raspberry Pi 3 compatibility.
Exactly. So if you don't know Balena, we have more than 70 devices compatible. So this is interesting because you can have different types of hardware connected to your project, and they are all compatible with the same source code. The thing is that, to have like the minimum common device type, it's a Pi 3. So I'm going to click create create and deploy. And what's happening right now is that the GitHub repo that I showed you before, it's being built into this application. We are going to see in a bit that the code is being released here, and we can see that it's being built as a release. And I need to add a device, so I'm going to say that I have a Pi 4. I'm going to select Balena OS. I'm going to say it's development. I'm going to say Wi-Fi. Okay, I introduce my Wi-Fi credentials, and I download the Balena OS. What's this Balena OS? This is the operating system I will need to flash on an SD card. This one, actually. And what it's going to do, it's actually this operating system will have the Wi-Fi credentials introduced, and it will connect to this Balena cloud. Okay, now the Balena OS is download. Let me open Etcher. Balena Etcher, it's a software that we do at Balena to simplify how to flash an SD card. I select the SD card, and I flash. Okay, flash done. Now I take the SD card, I introduce it on the Pi, and I'm gonna power it up. So what we are gonna see in a second is that the Pi, my device, will appear on this application. We can go to release to see if everything, succeed. Then we can go to devices. We can see that we have the things stack gateway release. And now fingers crossed that the device appear here. Hey, here we have a proud waterfall. All right, so now it's gonna, we have a device being provisioned on Balena Cloud. So we have actually one unique service that it's the basic station, but in this case it's called mine. And now it's downloading the image and it will start. Another thing that it's interesting to know, it's once this service will start, it will generate the EUI of the LoRaWAN gateway. So we will need to, and it will put the EUI as a tag of the device. So it's interesting to go there, copy the EUI, and we will go to the console of the Things network or the Things stack after that to create the gateway.
Yeah, actually, it is by default. It's configured to connect to V2, right?
Exactly.
At the moment, right now.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe let's show for a second the documentation that we have here. So we have different variables running these days, right? So maybe Joseph, you want to introduce the variables of the gateways?
Yeah, basically we have a set of common variables for different concentrators because the project supports SX 1301 and 1302, the two latest concentrators by Semtech. But there are a set of variables which are common to all of them, like the ones you're seeing now on screen. The gateway, if the gateway has a GPS or not, what is the reset pin or GPIO, depending on if you're using, the nomenclature in Raspberry Pi. And then we have this 4 TTN stack version, which right now by default it's 2, which is the current TTN version, Community Edition, and which has to be changed to 3 if we want to connect to the Things stack. And also we have the TTN region, so it works for European servers or North American servers or Australian servers, etc. Of course, these two variables will build the URL for the service for you. You don't have to care about knowing the URL. But if you are running a custom service somewhere else, you can still use this project with a TC URI variable, which lets you introduce the full URI to the service. And then we have the trust, which is the certificate for the service. If you're using the Things stack, or the Things network, it will create it for you. If you're using a custom one, you will have to enter it yourself.
Exactly.
These are the common variables.
So let's see if we have the device already provisioned or not. All right, device is already running. We have one thing that we mentioned before. It's on device variables. Is that the model? It's by default on SX1301. I have a rack 2287, so I need to change this to SX1302. If I don't change this, it's not gonna work. Every time that you change a device variable, the device gets restarted. So let's see if it gets restarted with the right variable.
So it's interesting to know that you can have different concentrators the same way you can have different PIs running the same services and only different variables configuring them. So you can have a different value for the type of concentrator for each device if you want to, and have a common one for what is more common in your fleet. Like I'm using, so I have 3 that are using Semtex 1301. That would be, and that would be my basic one, and I have a rack 2287 like Mark with a 1302.
Okay, looks like the concentrator started. We are gonna, well, because it's not still created on the Things network, I'm gonna create it on V2 first, okay? So I copy the EUI and let's go to V2. I'm gonna say that I want to register a gateway. There is a trick for the basic station gateways. I'm using legacy packet forwarder. Okay, so I paste here that my EUI. This is my Pi4 rack 2287. I'm in Europe, actually. I'm in Barcelona, wherever. It's an indoor. And I registered the gateway. So yeah, it says that it's connected.
Mark, don't forget to copy the key, the gateway key on V2 also.
Okay, now that the gateway is registered, we need to register some of these credentials into Balena Cloud. Okay, so probably you already have done this, but I'm gonna copy the gateway ID first. Let's go to the device variables. And we have gateway ID to 0. I'm gonna paste here value. And let's go to copy the gateway key as well and paste it here as a gateway key. Now the device will, the gateway will get restarted again as we are changing some of the variables. Okay, it restarted with the correct variables, and now we should be able to say that this is the official, it's an official, the Things Network LoRaWAN gateway. Okay, it's starting again. Super. So I think we are ready to move this gateway to V3 at some point. Jose, what do you think?
Right. So this should be as gateway managers our first test to be sure that we can migrate the gateways to V3 and have everything ready for the M day or D day or final day, whatever you want to call it.
Let's do it. Okay, so for moving the gateway from V2 to V3, first we need to create it to V3. So we go to the cloud console from the Things stack. So let's click Go to Gateways. Okay, so I click. I need the EUI first, sorry. I have it here on Notes. So let's click Add Gateway. It's my Pi4 and 27, the EUI. Sorry. Pi4 and 27. I'm not very good at naming devices. It's a public device, Europe, recommended. Yeah, so I create a gateway. And next thing that we will need to do, if I'm not wrong, it's to create an API key.
Yeah.
Come here and link as gateway to gateway subject traffic exchange. Okay, we create this and we copy the API key. Okay, so now we are ready to go to, again, to Balena Cloud and introduce it on TC key, right?
Yes, so TC key is the key for the V3 version. Gateway key is the key for the V2 version.
Are we ready to change the TTN stack version and the TTN region? What do you think?
Yeah, I think we are. I mean, on V2, it's connected right now. It's just a matter of changing these two variables.
These two variables, actually, what they are doing is generating the URL of the WebSocket that the basic station needs to connect to the WebSockets of the things stack or the things network.
Right.
I think Jose already said, if you have a specific or a different cloud, we have the TC URI, but be careful when you use it because the port that it's using, that the gateways are using to connect to the things network to the V2, it's 443, if I'm not wrong,
Right.
and to V3, it's 8887. We're introducing that by code, but yeah, some people in the community mess up with those ports, introducing the TC URI for V3.
Yeah, so the URI has to have the protocol, the server address, and the port. You have to have them right to be able to connect to the
Exactly.
server, of course.
So let's go to overview. And yeah, it created the gateway and it received the first status. So we tested to V3 works, V2 works. So we have to go back to the original, to the default values. To go to the default values, we're going to delete the changes. So we are going to get into the override. So the default of the application. And this will be very useful to migrate the whole fleet. So now I'm going to invite Joseph to my application in order to introduce their fleet of LoRaWAN gateways and move all of them together from V2 to V3. Remember, we have credentials from V2 here. We have credentials from V3 here. So we are ready. Joseph, all yours. Did you move your gateways?
Yeah, they should be now on your application and updating, actually.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah, they are online. Yeah, mine is Product Waterfall, but yours. Actually, to invite other members, you can click members and click add members here. Okay. So that's easy. That's very useful if you have a local community and you want to have all your LoRaWAN gateways under the same source code. So every release updates all the gateways. That's very useful to invite other members. And then actually the members can have its own the things network or the things stack account that doesn't. So what we are helping here is to have all the devices updated to the same source code or to the same release. Okay. Show me more, Jose. Show me. Maybe
So
share your screen.
So yes, this is my screen now. As you can see, I can see the same application. So as you can see, we have the 5 gateways here. The proud waterfall that Mark just created, my 4 gateways. I can get into one of these, for instance, a Raspberry Pi 3 with a RAG 2245. You can see on the logs that it's working. It's receiving packages. It works great. And on device variables, I have the very same configuration that Mark just did. I have the gateway key, which is a key for the TTN version 2. And I have the TC key, which is a key for the TTN gateway 3. So I have all these 4 gateways already registered on both platforms. And right now it's connected to V2, of course.
Yeah. So we are ready, right? We are ready to migrate from V2 to V3, right?
Yeah.
Let's imagine that today it's a migration day. How would you proceed with this fleet of gateways?
So if today is migration day, we should have tested one by one all the gateways that they correctly register on V3 and it works, and then go back to V2, just like Mark's just did. And today's migration day, we go to environment variables at application level. So these are variables that apply to all devices unless they have them overridden. but these are variables applied to all devices. So at application level, we have the TTN region and TTN stack version for all devices. So we just have to do the same thing that Mark just did for his device, but doing them for all of them. So we set them to European 1, which is
you can use other versions if you want as well.
Yeah, and version 3. And that's it.
Now all the devices are being restarted, right?
Let me check one of them, for instance, this one. And yeah, you can see that the services are restarting. And now it's using, as you can see,
the WebSocket URL,
But yeah, you can see that it's using the address for the server on version 3. And I can go to my console on version 3 and see that I have a lot of gateways here. But you can see that I have just 4 of them. All my gateways are on V2 already. Yet. But you can see that the 4 of them that I have here, they are connected to V3 already. So it's working. They are connected to V3.
Awesome.
And hopefully they are receiving messages from my WIS node here. Yeah, you can see that.
Nice.
So you can see the message. Of course, at gateway level, we don't have the information about the message itself. But if I go to the application where I have my WIS block tracker and devices, this is my WIS block tracker, live data. And I can see, yeah, it's receiving messages. And I can see that on the metadata, we have 1 gateway, 2 gateways, 3 gateways, 4 gateways, and another one which I have at home here on the rooftop, which is still connected to V2. That's why it says packet broker.
Okay, when it's connected to V2, it's packet broker. Yeah, we saw your long list of. So cool. So it works. We are ready.
It works. So migration succeeded. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so I think that was all. But we have some conclusions or a wrap up for you to remember as a gateway manager. So gateway managers must be ready before what we call migration day. To be ready, I think the steps that we follow are really easy for you to be ready for that day. With balena.io, as we showed before, you can test the migration one by one and then move the entire fleet to V3 at once, as we show you. And Jose had this example of a fleet of LoRaWAN gateways. And then the repo or the project that we use is the Balena Basic Station project, that it's an open source project. So feel free to contribute. Feel free to introduce your issues or PRs if you think you can contribute in any way.
Yeah, the Basic Station project is an open source project, just like Mark said. It's based on Semtech's Basic Station, but adding all the configuration variables you just saw, so you can move things up, down, and configure the hardware you have easily. And of course, it will be growing in the following months because we have a new concentrator on the side. The Semtech 1303 rack has a concentrator ready. Will be released soon. So the Basic Station project will support this as well.
Awesome. Yeah, and one last thing, as I show you, we installed this application from Balena Hub. So if you want to create that application on Balena Hub and submit it, that you are more than welcome. We are accepting a lot of applications from different communities. And I think there is already one on the Things network, but if your local community wants to introduce your application to help the community to run like the gateway on the latest release, etc., feel free to use Balena Hub as well.
Cool.
And I think that's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Jose, it was a pleasure.
Thank you, Mark.
All the questions, hope has been replied on the chat. Bye.